This is a Flying Cow production.
Well, hello, and welcome back to Movie Battles Blowout. That's right. This is the third video, the third match of Movie Battles Blowout. We have here today a huge match. This is, of course, the Triple Threat #1 contender, but I am not here doing this alone. No, I have here with me today the Dynasty, David Campbell. How are we doing today, David?
Oh, it's a pleasure, Clay. It's an absolute pleasure to be back. I can't wait. This one is going to be an absolute barn burner, I can tell. Triple threat rules. Anything could happen. Let's get this one going.
Absolutely. This is so unpredictable, this match. You know, like I said, it is the Triple Threat #1 contender. When it came time to deciding what to do in this spot, I was like, well, it'd be great if we have another #1 contender, but who am I going to put in that match? And, you know, obviously we had 3 people, and I was like, I don't know how I picked 2 out of those 3. So I decided not to choose, and we just threw them all in a pot. So this is the first time we are doing a triple threat match in Movie Battles. We will see how it goes. It promises to be very interesting, to say the least. But yeah, I'm excited. You know, we have obviously this match is between MadDog Brian Nussbaum, the Chartmaster Hannah Kiefer, and the Road to the Gold tournament finalist, the Litigator, Loren Collins. All 3 of these people are more than deserving of being here. You know, like I said, Loren got all the way to the finals, just unfortunately wasn't able to get past Kelly. And then Hannah was actually stopped by Loren. She's a 2-time #1 contender, trying to get that third. And, you know, that's why she's here. And then, of course, Brian had his own crazy run in the tournament and was also stopped by Kelly. So,
yeah, what a big stories here, Clay, because I think that you have Brian is going to be sitting back and you might see an opportunity because you can tell that personal animosity between Loren and Hannah. Is there the chance for revenge for Hannah? Can Loren do it twice? And Brian's like, hey, like, I'm coming into this fresh with one thing in my mind, and that's the contendership. So maybe that's an advantage for Brian. I don't know.
Yeah. And, you know, Brian has had his eye on the belt since he joined. You know, I think one of the first questions he asked me was, would I be willing to ship to Canada? And I was like, let's play a match first. Let's see how this goes. But yeah, so, you know, all 3 of them obviously are eyeing this #1 contendership. They all have a chance. I think all we can really do is just get this started and see what happens.
Let's watch the magic happen, Clay. I can't wait.
All right, so here we go. Introducing first, representing the Mad Dogs with a record of 3 wins, 1 defeat, and 1 knockout. He is a 2021 Road to the Gold semifinalist. He is MadDog Brian Nussbaum. Brian, how we doing today, buddy?
It's good, Cal. Shrek himself, how's it going good here?
Going well. You looking forward to this match? Looking forward to the opportunity to try and grab that '1 contendership?
Yep, Hannah has been one of my favorite players to watch. She's like the Roka of this league. As you know, whoever plays Hannah knows is a good player. And depends on which version of Hannah we get. Do we get for the semifinals or for the tournament? Because based on how many soul questions we get.
Yeah, it does. I guess it does depend on how many soul questions she gets. Although, who knows? if she's seen Soul, probably not, and she'll tell us. But I gotta say, Hannah has let us know in the chat she has not. I told you she's not shy of letting you know. But I gotta say, looking forward to this match. Good luck on your chances here today, Brian. All right, so let's go ahead and bring in one of his opponents. Representing the list makers of the world with a record of 4 wins, 3 defeats, and 3 knockouts. She is the 2021 Road to the Gold tournament finalist, a former 2-time #1 contender, and a Teddy Award nominee. She is the Chartmaster, Hannah Keefer!
Hello.
Hannah, how are we doing?
Doing well. To be honest, I had kind of put this to the back of my mind since my last one. And so I'm going in with very much. We'll see. We'll see. My last time I was on here was an unexpected defeat, and I have not really, thrown myself back into studying for anything. So we'll see. Expectations are we'll see where things are. I'm hopeful because my knowledge is always there. We do not have recent Pixar on our wheel this week, I believe. So that bodes well for me. So we'll have to see.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say, Hannah, for somebody with such a lax attitude as you have, you've got quite the list of accolades. I mean, like I said, 2-time #1 contender, tournament finalist, Teddy Award nominee. That has nothing to do with this, though. If you want to know what that is, you got to listen to the Academy on the Flying Cow podcast feed. Mm-hmm. But like I said, you've got all of these wins under your belt, even though you do kind of take this rather casually. Have you, you said this was kind of on the back burner. Have you thought any more about it as it's gotten closer, or are you just kind of taking it in stride?
A little bit, but mostly taking it in stride. At this point, the last time I went through this, I studied a whole bunch and watched a whole bunch of movies, and by now I have forgotten those. And so rather than have the endless cycle of rewatching things, I'm like, I'm going to rely on the Disney knowledge I have and not worry about what I don't at this point. And we'll see. Again, sometimes this just comes out to the luck of the draw, and maybe it'll work out for me.
Well, it has worked out for, the majority of your matches so far. So we will just have to see how this one goes today.
Absolutely.
All right.
I love Hannah's vibe. Love it.
All right, so let's bring in their opponent. Representing the law with a record of 3 wins, 2 defeats. He is the 2021 Road to the Gold tournament finalist, the Upset King, the Litigator, Loren Collins.
Hey.
How we doing, Loren?
Doing okay.
Yeah, obviously, this is the first time we've had you in since you played the tournament finals. Unfortunately, that didn't go your way, but you have proven through the tournament that you are you are a competitor to look out for. So how are you feeling going into this triple threat, the first triple threat that anybody has played? I know the last time that you were doing something new, it kind of threw you a little bit. Have you kind of refocused going into this match?
No, not really, I suppose. I did try to do a little bit of prep for this. On the other hand, I really hope there are no questions about the movie. I fell asleep watching last night. So if it's from the first 2/3 of the movie, I might be okay. If it's from the last 30 minutes, I'm screwed. I won't say what that film is yet either. So
Don't need to help out your opponents anymore.
Absolutely not. No.
All right. Well, I got to say, Loren, it is great to have you here. You've got just as much a chance as anybody. Like I said, you were a tournament finalist. So you are the favorite going into this match. I think that is the first time that you have been considered the favorite. How do you?
I am 100% certain that's the case. Yes. I'm amazed it is the case now, honestly.
Sure. I mean, I will say all of your wins that you have gotten were when you were the underdog. Are you afraid that being the favorite is going to jinx you?
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we will just have to see. So let's go ahead and bring everybody back in here. This is going to be an interesting layout. All right. So let us go ahead now then and let us discuss the rules for round number 1. In round number 1, 8 questions from random categories will be given to all competitors. Competitors will have 15 seconds to write their response. Answers must be spoken aloud when revealing your response. All questions in this round are worth 1 point. If either competitor, any one of the 3 of you, gets a perfect round, it will trigger a 1-point bonus question. Competitors may also have 3 repeats that they can use at any time throughout the match. So if you need to hear a question again, or you just need a little bit more time, use your repeats. Also, each competitor gets a challenge. If you disagree with the ruling of any question, you can challenge and make your case. If your challenge is upheld, then you will keep your challenge. There is no stealing in this round. Do we have any questions going into round number 1?
Ready.
All right. Then competitors, are you ready?
Do this.
I am.
Right.
Yes.
David, are you ready?
I can't wait. Let's see what's going to happen in triple threat action. Oh, it's exciting.
All right. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I feel ready for a movie battle. Action begin. And we are going to start with round number 1 in this triple threat number 1 contender, round number 1. Question number 1 in the category of early classics. These are the films of the 30s and the early 40s. And your question. In Pinocchio, the con artist known as Honest John is what type of animal?
I think if I was an animal, Clay, I'd be a polar bear. That would be my shout.
That's a fun animal to be. Yeah.
I like the cold.
I think I'd be a sloth simply because that just seems relaxing.
Sounds a lot of fun. Not a cow.
4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, pens down. Brian, we are going to you first, sir.
He was a fox.
Fox is correct. And Hannah.
I also had fox.
All right. Thank you. And Loren.
Fox.
Fox. All 3 got that correct. We are tied at 1. Going into question number 2.
Yes, question number 2 is in the Disney Renaissance era, and it is as follows. Who provides the voice of Scar in The Lion King? It's a bit nasty to call him by that feature, isn't it? You know?
Yeah, I know. It's like, hey, Boyle face.
Yeah.
Come here.
It's I get the villainy. I really do get the villainy.
I kind of understand why he became a
Yeah.
villain. 'Cause everybody just
Yeah.
by, this thing that he has,
On his face.
Yeah. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
All right, we are going to come to Hannah.
Jeremy Irons.
Jeremy Irons is correct. Loren.
Jeremy Irons.
Yes, correct again. And Brian.
Should have been back for a live action Viking, Jeremy Irons.
Jeremy Irons, fantastic stuff. Still level here.
All right, still tied at 2. Going into question number 3. And that is in the category of the dark times. These are the films of the 2000s. Lilo and Stitch was released in what year? Release date of Lilo and Stitch. You know, I think I may have said before, but have you ever noticed that Lilo and Stitch is actually just a kind of a more horrific version of E.T.?
Yes. Yes. And I love it all the more for that.
What if E.T. was actually a homicidal maniac? And
Yeah.
Elliot's family problems were even more dire.
Yes, and we're in Hawaii. That's the movie.
That's happy. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, Loren, we are starting with you, sir.
I want to say it's 2001.
2001 is incorrect. Brian, do you have it?
Is it 2002?
2002 is what we were looking for. And Hannah,
I also said 2002.
2002. All right, so
Interesting.
Brian is the first, or sorry, not Brian. Loren is the first to blink. Unfortunately, going down by 1, but it's still anybody's game. We currently have a score of 3-2. Going.
Yeah, a lot of game ahead here, Clay. A lot of game ahead. And question number 4 in the category of Pixar. In the film, what is the name of the independent young girl who befriends Luca?
Luca. I believe you said you
Haven't
still
seen
haven't
this.
seen this film, David.
Haven't seen it. You described it as pleasant,
It's very,
which is nice.
yeah, it's very nice. I mean, we will have to see if our competitors have seen this, though.
Mm.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
All right, we are going to come to Brian.
I remember the name Sunspow Miguel.
It's incorrect. Incorrect. All right, we're going to come to Hannah.
Seen Luca, but I'm blanking on the name. I'm guessing Gianna.
That is incorrect, unfortunately, Hannah. And we go to Loren.
I hope spelling doesn't count here because I know this isn't the right spelling, but it's something like Julia.
Julia is
You
correct.
can give that.
Okay.
Spelled closer to Gianna.
I was going to say, I was
Yeah.
close in the
Spelled with
spelling.
a G, but I don't know it.
Yeah.
A
But-
big hit there for Loren.
Yeah, Loren
Oh.
actually ties it back up. The only person answering that question this time ties it back up. We're all tied up at 3. So, obviously, there are no perfect rounds. To paraphrase Tom Hanks in Apollo 13, we just lost the bonus question. But that is okay. Plenty of more to play. Like I said, we're still all tied up. Going into question number 5 in the category of the decline and wilderness. These are the films of the 60s through the 80s. In what film will you find characters such as Penny, Rolly, and Patch?
Great names.
Right?
There's not much more you can say without
I
giving something away.
I think I'm gonna name my my children these names.
Poor Rolly.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, I'm not sure about a boy named Patch either, but Penny will be fine. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, Hannah, we are starting with you.
101 Dalmatians.
101 Dalmatians is correct. All right, and Loren.
That's right. I got thrown by Penny. I put the rescuers.
Ah,
Oh,
quite what we're looking for. So Brian, comes up to you.
101 Dalmatians.
101 Dalmatians. So Brian and Hannah keep charging forward. They've got that 1 point lead back, currently 4-3.
Yeah.
Questions?
Oh, it's an interesting one as we go to package films. The segment, Las Posadas, a depiction of Christmas rituals, can be found in which film? Man, Clay, the last time I was here, you made me read the package films question.
Yeah.
It's the same thing again.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't intentional to make the guest commentator always read the package films question.
Yeah.
It kind of turned out that way, but yeah, it's what happens.
All right.
Oh,
I'll go
at least you're not having
5.
to answer them, though.
Yeah. Go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Loren, what did you have?
3 Caballeros.
That is correct.
Oh.
That is correct. Well done there. Didn't say it with any confidence, but you got the point. And
Honestly, I
Brian-
didn't hear what you said very clearly. I just heard it was Christmas and I missed what the word was. So,
Brian, what did you have?
I have Melody Time.
Oh, misses, and we go to Hannah.
Stuck between this and Saludos Amigos, but it is 3 Caballeros.
And the lead, the sole lead is taken, Clay.
That's right. Hannah breaks the cycle. For a second, I thought Loren was gonna tie it back up, but no. Hannah claims that solo lead, currently
Talk change.
5-4. Going into question number 7. In the category of classics, these are the films of the 1950s. And your question. In Sleeping Beauty, Maleficent proclaims that Aurora will prick her finger and die before the sun sets on which birthday?
Bit of an overreaction, you've got to say. I've pricked my finger many a time.
I know.
Never dropped dead.
I remember as a child reading that because I think I had a storybook that said that Snow White's mother died the same way. And I'm like, I've cut my finger a lot and I've never died.
Yeah, they have really drilled it into children. Never prick your finger.
It is lethal, apparently. In 5, 4, hopefully this question won't be lethal to anyone. In 2, 1. All right. I believe we're back to Brian.
Is this her 16th birthday?
It is her 16th. Hannah.
I also said her 16th.
16th is correct. And Loren.
thank goodness I put the 16th.
16th. All right.
Yeah, not a sweet 16 for Aurora, but will it be a great 8 for these competitors as we go into the 8th question on CG Revolution? In Big Hero 6, what is the name of Hero's brother whose death causes him to seek revenge? Did you like the reading of that? Like, trying to get the drama up?
Very atmospheric. I enjoyed it.
Revenge.
Yeah. Seeking.
It's a dish best served cold.
Yeah. I mean, I was about to say you don't have a whole lot of Disney films where characters seek revenge, but I guess there kind of is that in Lion King. I can't think off the top of my head. I don't know. We'll see. In
No.
5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
All right, come to Hannah.
I'm not confident of this one. I'm guessing Takashi.
Takashi is incorrect. All right, but we need to come to Loren.
I just wrote a first name down, Peter. I know it's not right, but there.
It's not Peter, but thank you for the answer. And Brian?
Is Tadashi.
I knew I was going to be
It's
close.
correct.
Correct.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Unfortunately, one consonant off of the correct answer. So that means that Brian has tied it up. between him and Hannah. It is currently 6-6 to 5. Loren only back by 1. Not a bad round for any of these guys, but we will have to see how this goes as we go into round number 2. So let's bring up the rules for round number 2. In round number 2, each competitor will spin the wheel up to 2 times. If you do not like your first spin, you have the option to spin again. Unless, of course, you land on an opponent's choice, in which case you are stuck with that. Each competitor will get 4 questions from their category. Questions in this round are worth 2 points. Multiple choice is an option, however, if you use it, the value of the question will drop to 1 point. Competitors will have 15 seconds to answer each question. Opponents may steal in this round if any competitor gives an incorrect response, repeats, and challenges are still in effect. Are there any questions going into round number 2?
Oh.
All right. Just to clarify, as there will be 2 people who are not answering during each round, you will be using your whiteboards if there are any steals. Okay, we will give you a little bit of time if a steal opportunity comes up, and we will call on you the same way we would in round 1. All right, so right now the lead is tied between Brian and Hannah. However, Hannah came in higher ranked than Brian. So Hannah, you have a decision to make. Would you like to spin first, or would you like to defer to Brian?
I'm going to go ahead and defer to Brian.
All right. Brian, you also have the option. Would you like to spin first, or would you like to defer to Loren?
I like where it's second, so I'll defer to Loren.
Loren, all right. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up the wheel, and then Loren. All right, Loren, can you see the wheel?
Yes, I can.
All right, and you're seeing correct
As my name.
correct?
So, yeah.
Go ahead. Okay. Let's go ahead and spin this wheel for Loren.
Oh, it's exciting. Could cut the tension with a knife.
All right, and we have landed on scores and soundtracks, a category that Loren landed on quite a few times in the tournament. So Loren, would you like to keep this, or would you like to spin again?
Sure, I'll keep it. Why not?
Wow.
Is going to keep scores and soundtracks. All right, so Loren, we are going to be asking you 4 questions in the category of scores and soundtracks. All right, so Loren, I will be asking you these 4 questions in the category of scores and soundtracks. Are you ready, sir?
I'm as ready as I'm going to be.
All right. Question number 1. What R&B artist provided the vocals for Powerline in a Goofy movie?
Multiple choice.
All right, multiple choice it is. And those options are, is it A, Tevin Campbell, B, Aaron Hall, C, Sean Stockman, or D, Melvin Edmonds?
1.
1, you mean A?
I'm sorry, A, Tevin.
A, Tevin Campbell is correct for 1 point.
What a singer. What a singer.
So Loren tying it up with that. Going into question number 2. What was the first Pixar film scored by Michael Giacchino?
The Incredibles.
The Incredibles is correct for 2 points. Loren taking a gamble, and it pays off, getting those 2 points. Going into his penultimate question in this round. Jerry Goldsmith composed the score for what Disney animated film?
I think I know, but I'm gonna go multiple choice.
All right, multiple choice. Is it A, Treasure Planet, B, Mulan, C, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, or D, Tangle?
A, Treasure Planet.
A, Treasure Planet is incorrect. So Brian and Hannah, you guys are going to have the opportunity to steal. So I will read the question, and you'll have 15 seconds to write on your board. Jerry Goldsmith composed the score for what Disney animated film? Is it A, Treasure Planet, B, Mulan, C, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, or D, Tangle? Gotta say, this is rather a challenging question. No shade.
This is, yeah. This is so challenging.
We will have to see if anybody can steal this. Let's go ahead and start with Brian. What do you have, sir?
For the baby YouTube, is it Mulan?
It is Mulan for a 1-point steal. Hannah, did you steal as well?
I did. I said Mulan. My first guess was Treasure Planet. So
All right. All right. So
My first guess was Black Cauldron, so I'm glad I did not go with that guess.
there you go. All right. So Hannah and Brian getting that 1-point steal from Loren there. We are currently at 7-7 to 8. Loren's still ahead by 1, but we are going into his final question in this round. Who composed the score for Pixar's Brave?
Multiple choice.
Multiple choice. All right. Your options there are: is it A, Thomas Newman, B, Julie Fowlis, C, Michael Giacchino, or D, Patrick Doyle? I should have let you read this one, David.
I know. I was going to say.
This opportunity.
All right. And
D, Patrick Doyle.
D, Patrick Doyle is correct for
Well done.
1 point. So kind of a tough round there for Loren. But he was able to get currently a 2-point lead. And with these triple threats, it's round 2 is rather interesting because you've got 2.
Yeah.
It's a rather interesting set of circumstances here. So we are going to go ahead and bring the wheel back up. Hannah, you have the choice. Would you like to spin now, or would you like to once again defer to Brian?
Brian said he wanted to go second, and so even though that may have meant last, maybe going third will throw him off his game. So I'll go now.
Okay. All right. So Hannah choosing to go now, hoping maybe she can throw off her opponent Brian. We will
We shall see.
So Hannah, this wheel is yours. Can you see the wheel?
Yes, I can.
All right, then here we go.
We go with the wheel.
Looking for something good for Hannah. Ooh, and she has landed on voice actors. Probably a good thing that she didn't defer to Brian, because we know what he would have done with this. But Hannah, how are we feeling about voice actors? actors.
I'm feeling pretty good with voice actors. I know a fair amount of them, probably more than the average person. So let's go ahead and let's take it.
Nice.
All right. So Hannah,
And
roll.
Brian doesn't get it.
Take one of Brian's biggest strengths off the board.
Yeah, it's a bold strategy, Clay. Let's see if it pays off for Hannah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and we're going to start Hannah here. I'm going to be asking the questions for this round. Question number 1. In Toy Story 3, what actor took over the role of Slinky Dog from the late Jim Varney?
Ooh, I'm gonna need multiple choice on that one.
Okay, we're going to get multiple choice up here for you. Is it A, Tim Blake Nelson, B, R. Lee Ermey, C, Blake Clark, or D, Jeff Garlin?
Gosh, I'm gonna go with C.
C, Blake Clark is correct for a point. Well navigated there for Hannah with a tricky question and a dance. I love it. And we're going to go
Brian,
with question
you're
number 2.
I do it anyway, so.
There. Okay.
Question number 2 in this round, Hannah. What actor, singer, and frequent Disney performer provided the voice of Ariel in The Little Mermaid?
That would be Jodie Benson.
That is correct for 2 points. Didn't even flinch. Didn't hesitate. Right.
Takes the lead.
Yeah, big one. Big question there for Hannah. Can you follow up? Question number 3. What young 90s heartthrob provided the voice of young Simba in The Lion King?
Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Bam! Another 2 points from Hannah there. Clay, this is an impressive round so far. Amazing. And we're into question number 4. Great round from Hannah so far. Let's see what happens here. In The Hunchback of Notre Dame, who provides the voice of Hugo, the short and stocky, uncouth gargoyle?
Which one is that? I skip the gargoyles every time I watch this movie because I hate them so much. I'm gonna guess that's. I don't want to give people the point if it's gonna name all the gargoyles. I'm just gonna say Jason Alexander.
What a leap of faith. It's correct for 2 points. Well done, Hannah. The chance, the risk pays off.
Absolutely. So at the end of that round, Hannah only misses out on one question, dropped to multiple choice once, but other than that, she is currently in the lead 14 to Loren's 9 and Brian's 7. But
Big round.
Brian still has yet to go, so he can turn this around with a big run here. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up the wheel for you, Brian. All right, so can you see the wheel, sir?
They can.
All right, then this one is for you.
Round and round it goes. Where it lands, nobody knows.
Wheel was a little sick there for a second. Oh, and we have landed on package films.
And we'll spin away.
Wonder.
Spin away.
Spin away. Spin away. I was just about to say. Pretty sure we're going to do here.
Spin away, Simba. Spin away and never return.
All right, and he has landed
Okay with that.
early Pixar. All right. So Brian is going to get 4 questions in the category of early Pixar. All right. All right. So here we go in the category of early Pixar. All right. And I'm going to be asking these questions for you, Brian. So here we go with question number 1. Who provided the voice of Andy's mom in Toy Story?
Laurie Metcalf.
Laurie Metcalf is correct for 2 points. Right. Question number 2. Before leaving the rat colony, what job does Remy's dad give him?
Let me go multiple choice on this one.
All right, multiple choice it is. Is he A, a guard, B, food gatherer, C, poison checker, or D, a scout?
A food gatherer?
Food gatherer is incorrect. So Loren and Hannah, you will get the chance to steal here. The question: before leaving the rat colony, what job does Remy's dad give him? Is he A, a guard, B, a food gatherer, C, a poison checker, or D, a scout?
Before leaving the rat colony, I was a chess player back in the day. Yeah.
Quite an interesting job in a rat colony. All right.
Yeah.
Let's go to Hannah first. What was your response?
B, poison checker.
Poison checker is correct for a 1-point steal. And Loren, get it.
Poison checker.
Poison checker. All right. So both of them get there. Hannah's gaining quite the lead here. We'll have to see how the rest of the round takes. So let's go into Brian's penultimate question in this round. What is the name of the caterpillar in A Bug's Life?
Heimlich.
Heimlich is correct for 2 points. All right, and your final question, category of early Pixar. Once discovered, aside from himself, what does Wally keep the plant in?
Ooh. R-rated movie. I'll go multiple choice.
All right. All right. Multiple choice it is. Is it A, a tire, B, a bucket, C, a can, or D, a shoe?
Tire?
Tire is incorrect. So we are going to once again go to Hannah and Loren with the opportunity to steal. I'm going to repeat the question and the options. Once discovered, aside from himself, what does Wally keep the plant in? Is it A, a tire, B, a bucket, C, a can, or D, a shoe?
Before leaving the rat colony, Clay, I was actually a plant keeper
Oh,
back in the day.
well,
Yeah.
that's rather fortuitous here for us.
Yeah. What are the odds?
All right, we're gonna go this time with Loren. What is your response?
I went with can.
Can is also incorrect. Hannah.
Maybe then. I've said shoe.
Shoe is correct for a 1-point steal.
Who plants a shoe?
And a shoe. I'm not sure. I mean, I don't think you can plant a shoe, but you can keep a shoe or plant in a shoe. Shoe is a decent planter.
This sounds like one of your riddles.
All right. All right. So, that means that at the end of round number 2, we currently have a score of Brian with 9 points, Hannah 17, and Loren with 11. Going into the final round, round number 3. So let us go ahead and bring up these questions for round number, or not the questions, the rules for round number.
And go.
All right, in round number 3, competitors will pick 3 numbers ranging from 1 to 20 that correspond to 3 random categories. Each competitor will get 3 questions. Questions in this round are worth 2, 3, and 5 points respectively. Competitors will have 15 seconds to answer each question. There is no stealing or multiple choice in this round. Repeats and challenges are still in effect. All right. So do we have any questions? All right. Well, going into round number 3, Hannah has quite the lead here. So we are going to have Hannah give us her 3 numbers first. Hannah, what 3 numbers would you like to choose?
I would like 8, 4, and 14.
8, 4, and 14. All right. Loren will be going to you next. What 3 numbers sound good to you?
I'll take 6, 15, and 17.
6, 15, and 17. All right, Brian, you now have the difficult task of figuring out what 3 numbers are not taken yet.
A 10,
10, okay.
18.
Okay.
Is 5 available?
5 is still available,
Okay, then 5.
Well done, Brian. That is the biggest win of the game so far.
right?
Well, I got 2 of my lucky numbers, so.
Yeah.
All right. So, Brian, you are currently down by, I believe, 8 points. Down Hannah by 8 points. So you're going to need the majority of these questions. So we are going to start with you. You only need to answer your 2 to send it to Loren. All right. So we're going to start with you. Question number 2. You chose, or sorry, not question number 2. The 2-point question. You chose number 10, and that relates to the category of directors.
Good.
All right. And your question. Finding Nemo was the first Pixar film directed by whom?
Andrew Stanton?
Andrew Stanton is correct for 2 points. So Brian ties it up with Loren at 11. So we are going to go to Loren to see if he can answer his 2-point question to knock it back to Brian.
Yeah. A 2-point question, Loren. You selected number 6. And that is the category of early Pixar. Early Pixar. And your question is this. What was Pixar's 3rd theatrically released film?
Toy Story 2?
Toy Story 2 is correct for 2 points. Great pull there from Loren.
All right. So Loren goes up to 13, sending it back to Brian to now answer his 3-point question. Brian's 3-point question. 18. Category of the wilderness. These are the films of the 1980s. And one more question. What year saw the release of The Fox and the Hound?
1982?
1982 is incorrect. It was 1981.
So
Wow,
close,
okay.
Brian. So close.
Yeah.
The
So
cigar.
close. But that means that we will have to move to Brian's. Oh, actually, hold on. That means that Brian is unfortunately mathematically eliminated. Sorry, everyone, for the interruption, but as you might have noticed, there was a scoring error. Rather than just let that sit, I wanted to go ahead and give Brian the opportunity to answer the 5-point question that he is entitled to. So, Brian, are you ready for your 5-point question?
Let's go.
All right. So you chose number 5, and that relates to the category of the decline. These are, of course, the films of the 60s through the 70s. And your question: in Robin Hood, Maid Marian encounters 3 young rabbits. Name 2 of them. And you do have, I believe, all your repeats.
There's Skippy. Two there together. There's 3. I'll go guess.
In 5, 4, 3, 2.
Julie.
That is incorrect. We were looking for Skippy was 1. The other 2 were Sis and Tagalong.
Okay.
So, yeah. So you do get your 5. Unfortunately, didn't change anything, but at least you got your opportunity.
Okay.
We now return you back to the match as it was already recorded. Thanks, Brian. Stay here and
So watch it.
Yeah, absolutely. And we will continue the match. So it goes on now to Loren.
Oh, it's a big one.
His 3-point question.
Yes.
Loren. This is just icing for you. You have to get your 5 in order to send it back to Hannah, but this would help you ease things.
Oh, 100%. And maybe put the pressure. You get your 5 on Hannah and they end up. But the question is, in the category of voice actors, what character is credited as Jim Varney's final performance, released after his death?
I'm gonna say, I think it's Cookie. It's from Atlantis.
That is correct. Cookie is correct for 3 points. What a pull there for Loren.
For 3 points. Ooh. All right. So now we are going to stick with Loren to answer his 5. Like I said, he's now within 1 point of Hannah, 16-17, but he needs this 5 to send it back to her and force Hannah to answer some questions.
Yeah, this one is for the match. Will it stay alive or will Hannah get that contendership spot back? It's all the marbles.
By double TKO.
By double TKO.
Let's see.
The number is 17. And the category is recent Pixar. Recent Pixar. Right, Loren, you ready? Question is this. In Finding Dory, what are the names of Dory's parents?
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Anything, Loren?
Oh, they are Mom and Dad.
And your winner by TKO and the new #1 contender to the Movie Battles Championship, the Chartmaster, Hannah Kiefer. The answer we were looking for was Jenny and Charlie. Jenny.
Yeah.
And Charlie. All right.
It sounds like a bad sitcom, but it was the
Yeah.
answer we needed.
Take an hour to not come up with that. So yeah.
I wouldn't either.
And let all three of you go ahead and turn your cameras off, and we'll bring you back in for post interviews. All right. Wow.
Wow.
I wasn't expecting. I mean, I knew obviously that Hannah had the goods. She has proved time and time again that she knows what she's doing here, even if she doesn't seem to think that she is half the time. But I did not expect a double TKO there.
It was mental. The wheel giveth, the wheel taketh away. Hannah took risks, Hannah took chances. She knew that was one of Brian's strengths. And she was like, I'm taking it off the board. And she did so well. But Clay, it was more than that. Yeah. She was waiting there like a vulture. Any time that a carcass dropped in the other two in round two, she was there to eat it up. It was a ruthless performance, and one that I think could see her go all the way with that belt in the end after this.
Absolutely. I mean, I'd have to double check, but I don't think she missed a single steal opportunity. And there were like 3 in that match. So that I think is what ended up making all the difference. You know, just unfortunately, both of her competitors did have a rough wheel spin. So here we are with our new number one contender, third time number one contender. We'll see what she can do with it. But we are going to go ahead and turn this over now to Sister Chronic herself, Nancy Rodriguez, for the post-match interviews.
Hey, Brian, great match today. Now, you had a great round 1, and it seemed in round 2 is where the struggle began a little bit. Any strategies you feel you would have changed up, or do you feel that was just how your gameplay was today?
I would have changed up, like going first. Before the first door, I would have gone first.
That makes sense. I mean, you did spill the beans a little bit in terms of what order you wanted to go in. Do you feel next time maybe you'll keep things a little bit closer to the chest, or that's just, you know, how you want to play the game?
Well, usually when I win the matches, I usually go second, and that's how. If I would have said in first place, it would have happened.
I feel you're like me, where I have my traditions when I play, and I like to keep it that way. But yeah, a great match today. And I mean, what do you feel like you're going to study in the off season coming up?
With these days, probably some package films and with weaknesses. And I hope that either Kay or Nikki destroys Hannah after what she did to me.
I love it. And I look forward to maybe a little bit revenge path coming up next season. What do you think?
My revenge is coming.
Sounds good to me. Thanks, Brian. So we have our second runner-up, Loren here. How did you feel playing a triple threat actually for a number one contenders match?
I mean, I was glad there wasn't a speed run this time.
Fair.
Yeah.
And it seemed like, again, in those round 2s, how did you feel about the category you got?
That category had been good to me before, and, you know, I got 3 of them in the end, but no, I guess having to go multiple choice on 2 of them didn't help. So, and you know, when both of them got to steal the one I missed, you know, just I on one hand I did okay, but I just fell further behind at the end of it. So,
I mean, that was a great strategy though, going to multiple choice when you needed to. And can you finally tell us what was the movie you were watching that you didn't get to finish before this match?
Oh, it was that cinematic classic Cars 3.
Okay. Yeah. You didn't need it anyways. That was totally fine.
No. I feel like he probably wins at the end. I was like, I don't know. But yeah.
Yeah. And you know, that your 5-pointer was pretty difficult in my opinion. Are you pretty familiar with Finding Dory? Or are you like me where Finding Nemo I feel is much better?
Finding Nemo is much better. Absolutely. There's no question about that. I saw Finding Dory like once whenever it came out and have barely thought about it since then. So yeah.
Fair enough. All right. Thank you, Loren. And again, great match today. You came super close.
Thanks.
All right. Congratulations, Hannah. Good job with the win. Not only a win, but a double TKO. Did you foresee that happening at all?
I did not. We got the scores announced right before the end, and I thought that was the first moment where I thought, oh, I might have a shot at this, because I felt like we were neck and neck right even through the wheel round. I didn't realize how much I'd pulled ahead, and so I was like, oh, this is a possibility. I might be able to make this.
And you had a pretty strategic game, it seemed like. Like David mentioned, you said it where you wanted to take that wheel slice because that was a strength of Brian's. Going into this, were you planning on having a more strategic kind of match, or were you just in the moment like, hey, this is my best shot here?
That just came up in the moment. And honestly, I do voice actors is a pretty good spot for me. It went well today, obviously, but that's something that I feel fairly confident in. And so the fact that it would take it off the board for Brian was a bonus of just another reason to not try to respin it, because I know that it's something I'm decent at and something that I know he's very good at. And so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take that in.
And you did great at it. And I feel like you were very happy when they mentioned Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Maybe I was reading into it, but he was very much a heartthrob for me growing up. So, we got that mentioned.
Yeah, that wasn't exactly my connection, but it was because as he started what 90s heartthrob, and like my brain was already thinking, is it Jonathan Taylor Thomas? And then he said, start as young Simba. I was like, aha. So I like when I find I can not accidentally, but I can predict the questions a little bit as it come up. Doesn't happen very often, but it was a fun, like, oh yes, I'm already ahead.
There you go. And you came into this match and you finally got your revenge, I guess we could say, on Loren. How does that feel?
It feels good. The thing is that Loren was kind of the underdog contender coming up, but even today, like, I find that we're actually an interesting competitor pair, because he tends to know the ones I don't, and vice versa. So like our pockets of knowledge are like a yin and yang. And so the ones that he got, I had no idea on, and frequently. And so I anything can happen when that's the case. If more questions had landed in my realm and less in his, or vice versa, it could have gone a completely different way.
Absolutely. And hey, you never know, maybe someday way down the line, if you ever have to do a teams match, who can pick up the slack for you.
Absolutely.
And of course, this isn't the end for you. So who do you have a preference in terms of who you would want to face?
Oh, I would, there are a lot of great players. I still would love to go up against Kelly sometime. I know she was, the person all along, people were saying we're neck and neck with what was going on and with who was doing well. And I've been impressed by all of her gameplay. And I would love to get a shot playing against her someday.
Sounds great to me. Well, thank you so much, Hannah. And again, congratulations on the win.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
All right. Well, look at that. So yes, we have our new #1 contender just in time for the upcoming championship match. And you heard it from Hannah. She kind of has a preference for Kelly because she hasn't played Kelly yet. So I know I would love to see that match. What do you think, David?
I think that I'm meant to be unbiased here. I think whoever Hannah goes up against, I think she's going to take that belt. I think the third time has got to be the charm. You've seen what she did to Clay. She got a double TKO in this match. That is not an easy feat to accomplish for anyone.
Against two competitors that are no slouch, either one of them. Just, like I said, it came down to the luck of the draw in categories. But yeah, Hannah was able to edge out both. And yeah, that double TKO, that's nothing to sneeze at. Absolutely.
It's nothing to sneeze at. And I think there's something to be said, Clay, for we saw the attitude, and I said I love the vibe of Hannah coming in, because sometimes in these big match situations, you can get yourself worked up, maybe a bit of stress comes into it. Hannah isn't going to be affected by any of that because she has this attitude of what happens, happens. I think that could really serve her well when she next gets to that championship situation.
It can't hurt. Well, who is Hannah going to be facing? We don't know, but we're going to be finding out very soon in our next video, which will be dropping tomorrow. So don't miss it. Stay here, stay watching, and remember, moo.
Moo.